Hi everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. My name is Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Sunday and every Sunday I jump on and share a card with you. And so today I wanted to show you how to make a faux step card. If you were on our virtual launch, I actually made one of these cards using the Beary Cute bundle, and I'm going to make that card again. It's just so fun. I love to make fancy fold cards, and I struggle with cards where you have to cut and score a single sheet of cardstock. I don't see three-dimensionally very well. My husband always teases me. And so when I learned to make the faux step card, it changed everything. I can make these cards without having to think about it. So I want to show you how easy it actually is to make one of these faux step cards. You can do it landscape or you can do it portrait. This one is a portrait card. It will fit into a standard envelope. So it's perfect for mailing. You don't have to make a special envelope for it. All right, let me switch over to my desktop and we will get started. If you're joining me, let me know where you're from. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, if you're coming in through YouTube, make sure you just click that red button below and you can subscribe and you'll get notified when I go live. If you're coming in through Facebook, don't forget to give Facebook permission so that I can actually see who's commenting, and go to streamyard.com/Facebook. All right, so this is the Beary Cute bundle. It is part of a suite in the catalog, but this is the bundle. It's a photopolymer stamp set that has these adorable bear images. It has the great punch that punches out this bear. And then you've got some sentiments and some other stamps. It also, in the bundle, or in the suite, has this really, hey Betty, this really pretty embossing folder called Snowflake Sky embossing folder. It has some gorgeous designer series paper. This is just one of the pieces, so you can actually punch some of these bears out or cut them out. But I'm using this one. I love this paper. It kind of looks like a sweater. What else does it have in it? It has these are the adhesive backed glitter gems. I almost used many of them. So in 3 different colors. And this pretty, it's like, what do they call it? A sparkle ribbon, because it's definitely sparkly. It's velvety. It doesn't tie a bow real well, but you can use it for kind of on the background, but it's definitely velvety. It's really pretty. Okay, so let's make this card. I've got all my supplies here. So what you need is a piece. So this is, again, oh, yay, Betty. This is a portrait orientation. So what you need is a piece of cardstock. This is Night of Navy, that is 4 1/4 by, I think it's 9, 4 1/4 by 9. And you need your trimmer. So we're going to score it at 1 1/4. So this is scoring it along the 9-inch side. So score it at 1 1/4. Now I have to always think about this. 2 1/2. And I just have to remember what the other score line is at. Let me just measure, because I think I'm going the right way here. I should have written this down. So 1 1/4, 2 1/2, and 5 3/4. There we go. Okay, so this is the main card base. So grab your bone folder. So we're going to fold. So the way this works is, this is going to fold in half. So on that 5 3/4, we're going to fold. It's kind of, and then you're going to fold up on the 2 1/2. I'm burnishing it, and then down on the 1 1/4. So we have our card base that will stand nicely like that. So again, it's the Mountain Valley Mountain starting from the 1 1/4 inch fold. And then the other piece that you need is a piece of the same color, or you could use a different color cardstock, that is 2 1/2 by 11. And we're going to score this at 5 1/2. I just absolutely love this bundle. I don't think polar bears are just for kids. I think this polar bear is so adorable. It's kind of like the Hello Ladybug bundle. I absolutely love. And it's kind of it's not just for kids, even though it's, you know, so it is kind of a little bit kind of kid-like, but it doesn't have to be. All right, so this piece is going to fit over top like this, but we're going to actually put some designer series paper on. So I've cut a piece of designer series paper, and I clearly need to trim that down because it's too big. So this piece of designer series paper should be 4 inches by, so 3 inches by 4 inches. I think I just need to trim a little bit off. There we go. So I'll lay these out on the way they're going to go. So this piece, this 3 inches by 4 inches, is going to go along here. And then you have a piece that's 1 inch by 4 inches that will go in that. Nothing will go here. And then so then let's see. So let's do some gluing here and get pieces in place. Okay, so this strip again was 1 inch by 4 inches. And we're going to adhere this to this bottom flap. This is that 1 1/4 inch flap. And then this piece that's 3 inches. It's hard to cover up this adorable polar bears, but all right, 3 inches by 4 inches is going to go on the next. So skip this flap, and then this one goes on the next flap. All right, so then that goes like that. Now, our piece that is 2.5 by 11 that's scored at 5 1/4. I've cut a piece that is 2 1/4 by 5 1/4, and it's going to go on here. So if you miss any of these measurements, you can watch the video again, or this actually card will be going on a blog hop in about a week's time. So usually the cards that I make on my lives will find their way to a blog hop, and so you can get the written instructions and measurements. Okay, so then this piece fits over top of our card base, and we're going to adhere it in just a second so that it stands. So we didn't have to do any cutting and scoring on the same piece of cardstock. This just nicely stands. So I'm going to glue this down. Again, you only want to glue about 1 inch on this long piece of cardstock, and it's going to adhere to the bottom of our card base, kind of the main card base. Just hold it in place until it sticks. Otherwise, it'll shift on you. And then the rest of it, when it's on the back, you can adhere the whole thing down like that. I don't have it quite in the middle, but it's close enough. There we go. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, I love this paper. It kind of reminds me of the sweater I got on the incentive trip to Norway. It was blue and had kind of these patterns on it. It's really pretty. All right, so that's our base. It's so easy once you get the hang of it. And like I said, you can actually make it. So this is portrait, so we'll fit in a standard card. But if you made your card base being 5 1/2 inches wide, this would be shorter. This would be 8 1/2, and so it would be 4 1/4. So it would be kind of longer and narrower, and it fits into a standard envelope. Okay, so I've got a piece of, I'm using Very Vanilla because that's kind of the color in here. So I've got a piece of Very Vanilla, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment. I'm going to stamp the sentiment in Night of Navy. So I'm going to stamp the Merry Christmas across. Oops. These darn dimensional backings, they get all over the place. Okay, so stamp the back, or the sentiment Merry Christmas in Night of Navy. And I'm going to stamp the polar bear, the big polar bear that we can punch out in Tuxedo Black. And I'm going to stamp this little bear because he's so cute. He just looks like he's prancing. I have a little dog named Penny who who used to, when we get off the boat after being on the mooring buoy or on anchor, she would get off the boat and just prance up the dock. And that's what that little guy reminds me of. Okay, so I've stamped and punched the polar bear. Now there is no die cut or punch for the other bears or tree in this. So I'm going to just take and fussy cut around the bear. Just, you don't have to go, I'm not going real close, just leave a little bit of the very vanilla showing. My team, we had a team meeting this morning and my team was teasing me about being the fussy cutting queen. I really quite enjoy fussy cutting, and I know it's not for everybody, but on this particular one, there isn't any dies. So sometimes you just have to fussy cut. All right. And if you notice, I'm actually stirring with my hand that's got the paper. It just makes it so much easier if you do that. Okay, now I grabbed some gray granite. This is the light gray granite. So I'm just going to kind of, I'm not going to color the whole bear, but I'm just going to kind of go a little bit of gray granite on my bear just to give him some color. Maybe it looks like there's a bit of a shadow on his belly. There we go. And the same with the big bear, Mama. I'm going to say Mama Bear. This. I'm not coloring it in detail, but just I'm going to add just a little bit of kind of color to the bear. And then I'm going to take the dark gray granite and these kind of spots on his belly and underbelly, belly and backside. We'll just do that. Okay, so we've got our bear. Our bear's cut. Now I went ahead and punched out a circle from the using the 2 3/8 inch circle, and this is Balmy Blue. And then I embossed it using that really pretty snowflake embossing folder. So I'm going to put that on. I'm going to use dimensionals. And this is just going to go on like this, that. And then I'm going to take this, I'm just going to cut tag ends. So just, I cut up from the middle. That helps me because if I cut out from the sides, I never get my V on my tag in the center. So I always cut straight up in the middle and then cut up from the sides. Like that. There we go. That's going to go down there, and we'll use dimensionals on it as well. So I don't know what it's like where you are today. It's definitely feeling fall here on the West Coast. It was chillier this morning. Not raining, thankfully. So that'll go like that. Okay, and now this ribbon. You can't really, if I cut this ribbon in, like cut a piece of the ribbon and then fold it in half, I get one of the really nice shiny and one that's not the velvety. So I'm going to cut, let's use some scissors that'll cut. I'm going to cut this piece and then I cut it in half. So I end up with 2 pieces roughly the same length. And I'm going to use just a little bit of Stampin' Seal. So these are just kind of going to go in behind my bears like that. And then the bears can go on top. Now I have found, 24, nice, Betty. I hope it stays because I'm coming to Calgary on Wednesday. I hope the weather stays nice. I have found that the dimensionals don't stick real well to this ribbon. So I'm going to try and make sure that I get a dimensional, I get the bear stuck down so it's on the card base and not just on the ribbon, because I did find when I made the card before that it didn't really stick well. So let's just put this little bear kind of down a little bit. There we go. There we go. That probably, there we go. Let's make sure your bear doesn't, I probably have a little bit of glue sticking out, but get your dimensionals so that it's on this 2.5-inch piece. All right, there's the front. Now, where do you write on this card? There isn't really a piece. So I cut a piece of Very Vanilla out that is 2 and I think, yeah, 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to take and stamp. There is a little snowflake here. So let's stamp a little snowflake in, I guess Night of Navy, because that's what I've got out. So we'll just put some snowflakes down here in the bottom. And then there is this Warm Wishes stamp. And we'll stamp that on here. So this gives you some room. Oopsie. There we go. To stamp a sentiment and write. Oh, it's raining where you are. Yeah, it's definitely autumn here. It changes very quickly. We went from having really hot, dry weather, and we've had a little bit of rain, which is great because it's been drought conditions and we've had so many fires. It's kind of nice to have a little bit of cooler, but I don't know. We always, in the summer, we wish it wasn't so hot, and then all of a sudden fall comes. Okay, fall comes too quickly. Forecast for the next weekend about 20. Oh, that's great. Hopefully it's that temperature in Banff as well. So I'm in Calgary from Wednesday afternoon, and then Friday we're heading to Banff for the weekend. It's my sister's birthday tomorrow, so we're celebrating. All right, now I didn't actually flip that card over. I'm just going to go back to my card. So this is the card as it's finished. So again, this is a faux step card. So it looks like that on the side. It's got a place for writing and then, of course, the front. And it stands just nicely like that. It's so cute. And there's so many pretty different designer series paper in this suite that you can use. All right. Again, I like this one because it looks like a sweater that I have. There we go. There is the faux step card. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed that. They really are easy to make if I can do it. like I said, I don't see three-dimensionally, so I really struggle with some of the fancy folds where like step cards and easel cards and things like that. I struggle. So when you can make them like this in 2 pieces rather than trying to cut 1 piece, it just makes it so much easier. Now I will be live. Let's see. Today is Sunday. So I will be live on Tuesday with my sketch challenge. And then, as I said yesterday, I'm taking a bit of a break as I'm in Calgary for the next 5 days after that. So I won't be live Tuesday through Sunday of this week, or sorry, Wednesday through Sunday of this week. But join me on Tuesday for my sketch challenge. And if you typically join me on Monday nights for my card class, my Zoom card class, I will be having it tomorrow night. So come join me and we'll make a card together tomorrow night. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great day. Happy stamping. Bye.